You want me to continue? You got it.
Ninth round pick out of the Citadel in 1981. Stump carved out a successful NFL career with the Cardinals.
He's strong. He can move. He was agile. He can make guys miss. He had it all. He had everything in the game.
In Cardinals franchise history, only Larry Fitzgerald has more all-purpose yards.
He did it all, man.
And welcome to the 6th episode of Stump Talk Podcast, Running Back University. I am one of your co-hosts, Sapphire Hathorn, along with the indomitable Coach Stump Mitchell and Mr. Roe Goldston of Echelon Media Sports. How are you gentlemen doing tonight?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm very happy. I actually saw a little light at the end of a very long, dark tunnel yesterday. I know we're going to jump into that. But first, we always want to acknowledge and thank the T County Browns backers. We appreciate you. We appreciate your support. And I think we have an announcement right now.
Just want to give us some stats before we start off, and hello to you too. Tuesday is my favorite day of the week. Hello to our producer Russ. I call him the Oracle. The Browns versus the Vikings recap. The Browns came away with a loss, 21-17. Dylan Gabriel, 19 for 33, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns. Quinshon Judkins, to me, which is a bright spot in the game, 23 carries for 110 yards. David Njoku had a highlight. We jumped over a guy. 6 receptions, for 67 yards.
Yeah, those are numbers that we're, at least this season, not accustomed to hearing about. And let's start there with QB Dylan. Coach Stump, what were your initial observations about his play in Sunday's game versus the Vikings?
Well, I think he did a good job. I mean, when you take a look at the offense, the passing schemes that they had there for him to do, I think that's what you're going to get. I mean, right now they're playing very conservative football. You would have expected more because it wasn't like the Vikings put a whole lot of pressure on him. You got a guy in Jerry Jeudy that amassed over 1,000 yards and was a Pro Bowl receiver last year, not really getting a whole lot of shots downfield. You got David Njoku, who had a good game, but there's just so much more to that offense, and it's not being displayed.
Yes, and you know what? I mean, I was very impressed with Dylan Gabriel. I really was. I'm not a fan of the, more petite shaped and height players, but he did control, he managed the game well. He didn't turn the ball over. I want to go back to something you said about the conservative style of offensive play. Why do you think that was the case, Coach?
I don't I don't know. You got too many cooks in the chef in the kitchen, or you don't have enough. One or the other, or one person they're taking one person idea and that's it. Because I can't see everybody being on that same page. There's things that can be done. You got to take your shot downfield with a guy that can run, but everything goes back to how they drafted. That's
Mm,
where this team is right now. They missed totally on the draft. Jacksonville right now, I think, sits at 4-1.
yes.
Travis is playing on both sides of the field, and he would have been able to help on both sides. He would have definitely been able to help the passing game. You wouldn't be able to double him and Jerry and David. You just have too much offensive talent there. And of course, the Browns lost MJ early in training camp, so he could play some corner as well. Yeah, they get an interior guy. Defense is playing well, but he's not making having the impact that would have helped the entire team. He's helping the defense, yes, but you're not getting anything offensively from that receiving group that they have right now.
No, I thought the receivers were kind of cold, but in that game on Sunday. But you mentioned something about help. And speaking of help, I want to pivot over to Q, as I understand they're calling a young man now, Quinshon Judkins. Um, I want to talk to you specifically about how you see he even helped Dylan Gabriel in his performance, his management of the offense on Sunday. We have his stats here. Uh, I know we read the stats. I'm missing right now, but we know, yeah, 23 carries, 110 yards, no touchdowns. How did he help Dylan Gabriel on Sunday from your perspective?
Stump is having some difficulties. I will say, um, Sapphire, that it looks like the running game obviously was something that kept the Browns steady. We'll let Stump expound on that, but I think we need to talk about it and realize where the game turned. The Browns had the game won had they managed it correctly. Russ and I talked earlier about some of the things that occurred, the mismanagement of timeouts. The Browns had the ball with 3 minutes left in the game.
Hmm.
The turning point in the game. Hello, Coach. Uh, the turning point in the game is when the Browns, and I talked to Stump about this briefly, they ran 3 plays. They had 2 running plays, and they threw a pass, stopped the clock. So they had 3 total plays that only ran off 11 total seconds. They were up at that point 17-14, Coach Stump, in the fourth quarter. Um, Coach Sapphire was mentioning Quinshon Judkins being steadfast in the Browns offense and being something that looks like that was successful. The defense played well. Dylan Gabriel, for the most part, played well. Even though it was dink and dunk offense, he didn't have any turnovers and he moved the ball somewhat consistently. So, Coach, we were just talking about getting to the point of the fourth quarter where the Browns' management and coaching decisions probably should have led us to a win, to a victory.
Yeah, I agree. It was no question. It was totally mismanaged. You got to run more time off the clock than they did. You got to force the opponents to use their timeouts, and that didn't happen. And then Kevin calls the timeout himself, which allows them to uh, the clock to stop. Not very bright at that particular point in time.
I thought that was a enormous. It gave an enormous advantage to the Vikings the way that he managed those timeouts. But I also want to go back to share, on their third downs. I thought that was where the as significant of a failure as the mismanagement of the clock. Third down failures. I believe the Browns were 3 of 15 on third downs. And I just think about Coach, you talking about how conservative the offense looked in their play calling, and I agree. Then we've got Q, who's running like a truck. And I'm stumped, no pun intended, as to how they couldn't have more success on third down. Do you have any observations about that scenario?
Well, first of all, you definitely have to try to go to the sticks. It's no need in catching balls short of the sticks for the most part if you're not going to have a good opportunity to run to get the first down. So, first is constructing the plays that's going to be able to get you the first down on catches. It's getting a run scheme that's there for you in order to possibly get the first down as well. I mean, we lost our first game here at West Georgia this past weekend, and we missed a couple opportunities because we just didn't convert on first downs, and we had some turnovers that hurt a game that we should have won at least by 10 or 14 points. So it happens, but the thing you want to do is lead the game in the hands of the players. And
Mm.
when you can do that, me being the next player, if we go back, we look at film and we see the game plan allowed us to be successful, but I or one of my teammates didn't do what he was supposed to do in order for us to be successful, you're fine with the coaching staff. And I guarantee you right now, those players are questioning a lot of things that they're doing offensively.
I want to say something, Sapphire and Coach Stump, to kind of segue us into the big story of today. Um, Coach, I've listened and learned from you about football and winning games, and particularly the rushing game. And when you see a team play well and run the ball successfully, the defense plays well, a rookie quarterback plays well, the kicking game didn't hurt you, and you still, it's almost like they found a way to lose the game, Coach. Towards the end of the game, again, they called some timeouts and decided to not let 10 seconds run off. They made calls that seemed to benefit Minnesota more than the Browns, based on the Browns' coaching decisions in situational football. And I want to talk about that in terms of the big trade today. Sapphire, I'll let you take it from there.
I have no idea what the Cleveland Browns are doing. If you start at the beginning of the season and you listen to the poetic, I don't know, soliloquy that Kevin Stefanski, how he regarded Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco was the best QB to, give them QB to give them the best opportunity to win, and on and on and on, and droning about that. And then lo and behold, he's been traded to the Cincinnati Bengals, right, for a fifth pick, right? And I just don't understand from a fan perspective what the rationale in Kevin Stefanski's mind is doing, what he's thinking. So, Coach Stump, I'm going to hand this one to you.
Well, I think it was a circus. It's been a circus since the summer, to be perfectly honest. They knew that they had to win for guys like Joe Batonio, okay, a veteran, Wyatt Tiller, all of those guys that are veteran players. They don't have that many years, even Denzel or Miles. Those guys want to win. So you conduct training camp that way. Give Joe the reps with those receivers that were going to be playing. You're not bull crapping anybody. Everybody knew Joe was going to be the starter. Bottom line, all Kevin had to do was go back to the offense that they ran when they had Joe. Joe is a down the field guy, all right, but they have not threatened downfield passes this the season during Joe's time. Joe threw some interceptions, some players dropped some balls, but it's the whole thing has been a circus, to be perfectly honest. I don't have to be there to see that it was a circus. I've been around Kevin. In my opinion, if I'm around anybody for more than a week and I don't know anything about that person, it's bad on me. I mean, you always try to learn and try to see who that person is before they even engage. The things that you engage with them, the things that you see them do, how they carry themselves, you develop a chemistry for them, or you form your opinion about them. And I tell you, Kevin, first year, he was, I thought, a hell of a coach. But right now, I've also learned from just being far away, the decisions that he's been a part of totally seem like he don't know no football, and he definitely don't know people.
Yep. Plug and play. A dear friend of mine, Irie Harris, writes for the Cleveland.com, and he covers the Browns, and he talks about, we talk about a lot. He seems to have a Madden style approach to his players, and you have to have that chemistry. And the fans are feeling that, Coach Stump. The fans are feeling that. It's curious to me, and I don't know what the rules are, when players are traded to an intra-division rival, by the way. Are there any rules to what can be shared about what they know about the offense, how the team functions, how they call plays? And then number two, why would the Browns trade to a division rival, knowing on top of everything else, we have to face them again?
Well, the same way they didn't sign Joe the first time. The same way they allowed Coach Callahan to go without getting anything for him. The same way they allow Alex Van Pelt, who really all the players on the offense had the utmost respect for. The same way you let those guys go. That's nothing new to me. Andrew will do whatever, but I think if Joe get the opportunity to play with the receivers that they have there in
Oh,
Cincinnati,
yeah.
they're going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
throwing the ball down the field to the receivers that they have, and they're going to be just fine.
Yeah,
One of the things,
the
I'm sorry.
reports are, I'm sorry, the reports are that they're getting him ready to start this week for the
Wow.
Bengals.
Well, that's pretty good. And also, Scott Peters, as you know, is the offensive line coach there in Cincinnati. So I think it's going to uplift those guys, those
Mhm.
receivers. They're going to see he's not Joe Burrow, but they're going to see he's Joe Flacco and he can throw the ball as well.
You know, you guys, I think it's the first time that we can kind of, Sapphire, you mentioned this, even the people who were behind Stefanski, we've watched local media and local radio today. The tide is turning. And again, me and Russ talked about this earlier. I think for the first time, Haslam is probably considering, uh, severing ties with the Stefanski tenure. The Browns played in London, so as a global brand, and we're talking about sponsoring, marketing,
Mhm.
gaining fans
Mhm.
worldwide. This is a huge opportunity. Our good friend Paul Brown over there in the UK, he said there was 5 to 7,000 Browns fans there. This was a chance and opportunity for them to expand their brand globally. I imagine some of Haslam's friends are global businessmen. Some of these deals that he needs to get done, sponsoring the stadium or whatnot. And so it looks like to me, Coach Stunt, welcome back. For the first time, the Browns losing in London probably has them looking at Stefanski like, there's putting an inkling in his mind that it may be time to look at better options or other options for coaching. This is an opportunity for the Browns to make a statement, gain some Browns fans, and again, gain some business partners possibly for the future. So I think the handwriting's on the wall there. Stefanski ship is slowly starting to sink.
Absolutely. I travel a lot for work, and I cover the entire northern part of the state of Ohio. And even on the fringes, people were talking about this today. You talk about the brand. You're absolutely right. You have to add on to that. They are pitching shovels in the ground for a new location for a very expensive stadium, right? So
Right,
I definitely feel that vibe in the air. I think this decision that was made with Joe Flacco was a knee-jerk decision, and
right.
it just reeks of what Coach Stump says, just chaos.
Very true. Sapphire, I think we should segue into our spotlight player of the week.
Yes, and this week's Spotlight Player of the Week is a running back from Canton McKinley, a 10th grader by the name of Kylie West. Check this out.
Hello, I want to welcome everyone to the running back spotlight of the week. We have Kylan West out of Canton McKinley High School, class of 2028. How are you doing, Kylan?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. And to be such a young kid, the way you run the ball between the guards and the tackles, I just told your dad how much I enjoy watching you play. How old are you, Kylan?
I'm 16 years old.
What's your jersey number?
14.
How did you come up? Why did you pick the number 14 to play in?
Our head coach assigned it since I was an underclassman. But next year, I'm looking forward to picking number 4.
Your dad was telling me you're going to go with number 4 next year.
Yep.
What school do you go to? Who do you play for?
Penn McKinley Bulldogs.
Ken McKinley Bulldogs, the high school that plays at the Hall of Fame for everyone. Coach Parnell did a great job this weekend. He's a friend of mine. Great coaching staff. You guys are 6-1. Got a great win over North Canton Hoover. Your late touchdown helped seal the deal. We're going to be showing the fans that live. Um, do you have a game, a song that you play, any music to get you pumped up, get you ready for the game?
Not a specific song, but my favorite rapper, NBA Youngboy. I listen to him the most.
What's his name?
NBA Youngboy.
Okay. NBA YoungBoy is traveling and touring right now, breaking records. I have been keeping up with that. Um, I don't understand what he's saying when he's rapping, but me and you can probably get me and your dad caught up in that department. Who's your favorite football player?
Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch. I met him in high school. He was Player of the Year in California, in Oakland. My brother played the same time as him, so uh, Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch is his favorite player. Um, what made you want to start playing the running back position? When did you figure out that I want to be a running back?
I've always played this since I was younger. It's my natural position. It's my favorite position to study, and I'm just the best at it.
There you go. What's your favorite class at school? Favorite subject?
Math.
This kid loves math. I told you he was different. No kid loves math. Um, what's your pregame meal? Your go-to meal?
I eat pasta.
Pasta. Get them
Yes.
carbs in. What else?
Probably like some baked chicken or my. I like eating oatmeal. Like before I do like some running, I feel like the best with it. It's not too heavy or too light for me. It just feel good with me.
There you go. What other sports do you play besides football?
I run track.
Is it track athlete? What you run on track? What's your race?
11. I run one. I'm a sprinter. 100, 200, and like 4x1, 4x2 relays.
Very good. If you could talk to an NFL running back coach that coaches your position, what would you ask him? What would you be curious about?
What makes an NFL running back great? What do he like seeing in one? And like what's his favorite feature? Like physical one, more agile, dual threat running back. What makes an NFL running back great?
Okay, that's very good. What are your favorite college football teams?
Oregon is the my favorite. Then Ohio State, Georgia, Miami, Alabama, and below them.
I think you just covered a great list for college football, my friend.
Thank you.
Um, I hope you go to the Buckeyes so I can drive on the weekend to see you play. But we're going to get back to that. Me and your dad going to talk about that, man. Um, but I would love to come to Oregon and see you wherever you decide to go to school. I would
Mhm.
love to come see you play. Want to ask you if you can talk to your teammates right now, and I want you to give them a shout out on the podcast. What do you want to tell your teammates over at Kent McKinley High School?
Continue to get better each week. Continue to push for 1-0 each week and finish off the season strong.
Very
Play
good. Go ahead.
Yeah, just continue to keep playing together.
Very good. So I think it's important to talk about. You got school, and then there's football, and then you got your family, which comes first. How important is family to you?
It's very important as we stick together and them just pushing me each day to be a great kid, great human, and just continue to stay on top of what I need to do.
Okay. Well, we want to give your family a hello on our show. I always make that a point. They support you, and they're going to help you get to where you're going. So, Team Kylan is going to be your family. They're going to be there before and after. So, just want you to remember that. And I want to say hello and welcome this kid, Kylan West at Kent McKinley High School. Beast Mode is his favorite player, which makes sense. He runs like Beast Mode. This kid is tough between the tackles. He's still a baby. You haven't even scratched the surface, my friend, but I'm going to enjoy your journey. I told your dad I'm going to get behind you. And I can see you're a great kid. I got recommended to come see you. And so we look forward to showing Stump your game film. And any last words you want to say to the audience, to your fans, to your family?
Just thank you and thanks for the support always.
Very good. Well, again, Kylan West, Kent McKinley High School. Go see the kid. Oh, do you want to give him your Twitter? You know your Twitter?
Kylan West is my name, Kyelin, and then West.
Go look him up, and I'll tag you and put all your information on the post. Thank you very much, Kylan.
Thank you.
Wow, what an intelligent, brilliant, you could tell he's academic scholar. That was Kylan West, running back for the Kent McKinley Bulldogs. That was an incredible interview, Ro.
Coach, he's a sophomore in high school. The kid hits the hole very hard, and I don't know if you got a chance to see some of his game field, Coach, but I'm really excited about him. I met his father and his mother, and very great kid. He really had a spark in him that I haven't seen in a while. It looks like he likes Oregon, but me and his dad are going to try to get him into the Ohio State Buckeyes and keep him home. We can't let him leave, but He has 3 more years, Coach. What do you think about what you saw in the kid?
Well, I think he definitely has what it takes to be a good running back. You know, he has an offensive line first and foremost, and of course, once he got in the open, no one was going to catch him. He had the ability to make people miss, but also the ability to run away from people. So, and you want a complete running back, a guy who can run, a guy who can catch, and also a guy who can protect the quarterback, because that's a big part of the NFL. It's more so passing than it is running.
Very good. Sapphire and Stump, I want to take us into something that I believe will be dear to Coach Stump, uh, your guy Ashton Grant, Coach. Um, Russ was talking about the quarterback over there. He's excited about him. We talked about Mike Vrabel and the offensive coordinator over there. Coach, they had a great game, great win over the Bills. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, well, Ashton was actually brought into Cleveland and spent a lot of time with Stefanski his first year. You get Rabel that comes there for 1 year, has an opportunity to be around Ashton for 6 months, a little more than that, and see the qualities that he had.
And you know what? While we wait for Coach to come back, I want to give a shout out to Shaniqua McDew. Thank you for supporting us, and we're right there with you with Go Kai Lin. Also to Danielle Schlageter. I hope I'm saying that right. Schlageter, who says the decision making in Cleveland has been terrible. Amen, Sister Danielle. Right?
Go Danielle.
you know,
Uh,
it,
Go ahead, Sapphire.
No, it's just really curious how I'm hearing you have a lot of coaches come through Cleveland and then they go on to other teams. Like it just seems to be becoming a trend. So I'm really I'm curious to get more coaches' thoughts on that too.
Well, I just wanted to talk about the AFC North right now. Pittsburgh's 3-1. The Bengals are 2-3, and they have Flacco coming to town, which I'll just put that out there. I'm going to be rooting for Flacco, big time. The Ravens are 1-4, and the Browns are 1-4. Coach, how do you see this next stretch of football, these next 4 or 5 games going for the Browns?
Well, as for the Browns,
Yes, sir.
I don't see much hope for the Browns. I didn't feel that way a couple of weeks ago, but I don't see much hope for the Browns because right now the players they don't believe in them. Now, if they were to make a move and make Jim Schwartz the head coach, that's
Hello.
a whole different ball game. Because I can tell you one thing: all those players, offensively, defensively, and special teams wise, believe in Jim Schwartz because he who you see every day. I mean, he's a leader. If he tell you something, you can bank on it. Players know where they stand with him. With Kevin, you don't know what you got. He say one thing and he do another. Plus,
Hmm.
they've seen not only the players that have been gone that made that team what it was, but also the coach.
Also, the coaches, absolutely. Also, the coaches. And I want to just press pause there and acknowledge Michaela Middleton. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. It's the grandmother of Kai Lin. I thank you all for just sending us your comments. That's the vibe up here, Ro. People see it. You just don't know where you stand. Even as a fan, you don't know where you stand with Kevin Stefanski. And we have an away game at Pittsburgh, Acrisure Stadium. Just doesn't feel good.
Well, back to what Coach and what we all talked about. They draft 2 running backs and 2 quarterbacks in the
Hmm.
same draft. And then you bring in Joe Flacco for 4 to 5 games a year late, and then trade him to a division rival. It looks like a negligence, as Stump would say, professionally. And I tell you what, Russ and Sapphire and Stump, they're going to give us some content. You got teams like the Cowboys who provide entertainment. I'm okay with the drama because we have to produce content. We got to talk about something. So I'm like, I'm getting my popcorn, waiting to see what kind of mess they gonna do next. We may
You
have
are
to extend our show to an hour when we messing with the Browns.
you are spot on. There's nothing but drama. There is nothing but drama. I can always tell if the Browns won or lost when I engage with people on Monday morning. I don't even have to watch the game.
Yep. So yeah, welcome back, Stump. So we are just talking about the drama the Browns are providing. Gives us content. We have to write for the show and and figure out what angle we're going to take. And they giving us some alley oops. Today was the easiest show ever to produce. Russ and Stump and Sam because it's like the Barnum and Bailey circus out here.
Yeah, well, I feel bad for
Mhm.
Joe, but I'm happy for Joe because now he's going to an organization that's going to have a heck of a lot more stability than they did in Cleveland. Unfortunately, I feel sorry for those players that I know in Cleveland that have been there for quite a while because things are going totally backwards right now. I had my first year or so, I had all the faith in the world in Andrew Berry and Kevin, but now I have none whatsoever. I don't have anything to do with that organization, but the dang on players there that were there during my time, I know what type of workers those guys are. I know they had high aspirations of being successful. I know that Joe Flacco had that team and that town and the coaches and the players flying sky high, and then they don't bring him back and they bring him back a year, 2 years later, and it's a circus around there saying they don't know who's going to be the quarterback, which was BS. They knew all along Joe was going to be the guy. So it's purely a lack of management and also a lack of leadership from Kevin's part.
Yeah, he got caught up in that post-game presser. I know there's not a lot of time for coaches to get their thoughts right. I would imagine you're thinking still about the game and certain aspects of it even before you see the stat sheet. But I think he got himself in a little bit trouble when he tried to explain his rationale behind burning the timeouts the way that he did, because it landed to some of us fans as though he was already anticipating that the Vikings were going to score, which we kind of interpreted as, so you lost your confidence in your defense too. I just think he shook. He looked shook in that post game press conference too.
Well, if he said that, he definitely lost his confidence. Why
Mm.
would you anticipate them
Yep.
scoring when they hadn't scored a whole hell of a lot during the first three and a half
Yep.
quarters?
Yep.
And the defense played their butts off.
Hmm.
That's a terrible statement to make.
Yeah.
But Kevin really don't know what he's doing right now. Sadly to say, he's just guessing. I mean, when you can allow the coaches to leave that really made you who you are. AVP was the one who controlled that offense and allowed you to be named coach of the year your first year, and you shouldn't have been named coach of the year. That should have gone to D'Amico Ryan, who was a first year head coach and
Yep.
playing with a rookie quarterback and beat your behind in the playoffs.
Mhm.
I want to ask you guys. So, Coach and Sapphire, what do we anticipate next week? Sapphire mentioned we're going to Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers, Metcalf, Mike Tomlin, who has been is about as solid as a coach that we'll see in our lifetime. How do they come out of there with a win?
I don't think they come out there with a win. I know one thing, it was vanilla for Gabriel this past game.
Yes, it
I
was.
don't think Terrell is going to make it as vanilla, the defensive coordinator. I don't think Coach Tomlin's going to make it as vanilla as they
Yeah.
did. And Watt and everybody else going to get after them. They see themselves in a position right now where after about 11 or 12 games, they could have that division locked up if they can continue to win. And of course, Aaron Rodgers is going to try to pick them apart if given the opportunity.
This is why I go to church on Sunday mornings before the games, gentlemen. I really do pray because, to Coach's point, I think Dylan saw a lot of zone, a lot of man on man, but he really didn't see any kind of blitz packages. So I expect DEFCON 4 row. That's my answer. And I think the Browns legitimately are in a rebuild phase. And I'm sitting back as a fan wondering if that's going to include the head coach, and possibly the GM. I'll just say it, guys. It's
Well, I
crazy.
want to say I'm gonna be watching the game at Shenanigans. The T County Browns backers have a Hall of Famer coming, Frank Stamms, who's a local kid, and they're gonna have raffles and a lot of fun things going on for Browns fans. So come meet us down in Dover, Ohio, to watch the game. I'm gonna try to get Russ to come down and him and Apollo. So he just said no, but we'll figure that out. Any final words from you, Coach Stump and Sapphire?
Well, I think if the Haslam's think they're going to get a stadium built, people behind them with Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry combination, I don't think that's happening.
Ditto, ditto, ditto. I want to also give a shout out to Ira Phoenix. We got you in there before we close the show. Listen, thank you all for listening to us here on Stump Talk Podcast. Listen, we want you to come back next week on behalf of Coach Stump, Rowe, producer Russ. God bless you and have a wonderful week.
Go Browns!
Well, it's not over until it's over. Those players that are there right now, they still have hope. And I'm praying that they can get it together because I know a lot of those guys, they're on their last go around. And I just hope Gabe can take them to the point where they can be successful.
Thank you guys.
Talk to you all next week.